At the time, I was diagnosed about a year and a half ago, and at the time I was coming towards the end of my second year of a dance degree, so I was really physically active. I think I was doing about between like 15 to 20 hours a week. Some of that was dancing, some of that was flexibility training, some was running, some was walking, some was cycling, some was weight training. So I was kind of doing a bit of everything, and I was actually really fit, and I was eating a good diet as well. But then like one week, it was like kind of out of nowhere. One week, I just started drinking an extreme amount of water. I was drinking like 7 litres of water a day, and I was still really thirsty as well. And obviously with that you go to the toilet a lot as well, and I found out that that's actually because my body was trying to get rid of the amount of glucose that was in my blood, in my body, so it was actually quite good that I recognised those signs. So anyway, so I was drinking a lot of water, I was exhausted, I was really tired, so I kind of put off going to the doctor because I was like, oh, I'm probably just doing a bit too much exercise, or you know, I'm just running myself down, because I kind of like, I'm the type of person to just work and work and work rather than paying attention to what needs to happen really. So anyway, it just got out of hand, this drinking water, so I went to the doctor and I told her all my symptoms, the ones that I've just mentioned and a few others. So I told her, and she said they're all classic symptoms of diabetes, and I was like what? Like, where did that come from? Like, I'm so healthy, and obviously society and everyone else gives us these preconceived ideas of diabetes, so what my idea of diabetes was didn't match to the lifestyle that I had. So I was really healthy and active, and you know, I thought diabetics were like unhealthy, and you know, that's why they were diabetic. And how wrong am I, or was I, shall I say. So anyway, she said, right, we'll do a urine sample. Did a urine sample, and she said it's full of glucose, so we're going to have to send you for a fasted blood glucose test. So I went to get that done the next morning, so she could check my HbA1c, and that was really high. So she brought me back in, and at first actually they didn't really know whether it was type 1 or type 2 because of my age. She said predominantly you know, type 1 diabetes is found in children rather than adults. So she said, you know, you don't look like a type 2 diabetic, or you know, you're a bit active for it, and it doesn't run in my family or anything. So she was a bit confused, but she put me on some tablets. Do you know what? I can't even remember what they're called right now, but she put me on some tablets that help with insulin resistance, and then I was on them for a couple of days, and she said try them out and come back to me, and we'll dip your urine again in like a few days and see. So I went back, and she tested for ketones as well, and there was ketones present, so she sent me to the hospital, and then that's when I was put on insulin. And it was really strange because it just happened so quickly really. So the next minute, like, I was in the hospital getting taught how to inject myself with insulin, and I was like, fucking hell, you know, and I had to take my own blood sugar and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what happened there. And they said, you know, you're type 1, and they tested my blood glucose on the day. It was like 33 millimoles. And so anyway, I was sent home with like a sheet to record everything. They didn't want to keep me in because they thought I could manage it, but they said that usually they do keep people in. But I kind of wasn't too upset, because I think I was just too I was kind of just blank about it. So anyway, I went home, did my testing and stuff, and then a few days later I was at my mum's house. She lives quite close to the hospital. I was at my mum's house, and I tested my blood glucose before me dinner, like they told me to, and the machine read high, and I thought, oh my god, my machine's broke already, what am I going to do? Like, I don't know what to do about my insulin. So I took a little walk over to the hospital, and I just said to them, like, my machine's broke, like, I've tested my blood glucose about 6 times now, and it keeps staying high, and I thought it was just like an error message. And it turns out like that my blood sugar was too high to read. So they put me like, it was so weird, because I was just like, I went in to get a new meter, and then the next minute I was like attached to all these machines, like, you know, a saline drip, and they were testing me, and, you know, I think that the things that they use, the Lancet things they use to get your blood sugar, I think they hurt loads more in the hospital as well, and she was doing that like every hour, and I was like, but anyway, it started coming down, my blood sugar started coming down. They said you need to up your dosage of your insulin. And so, like, for the next few weeks, it was just like a load of appointments back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And while this was happening, like, I was in uni as well, so I was trying to manage like a lot of dancing, and, you know, this new thing that like takes up so much of your time, and you know, but I managed it. It wasn't too bad. But I remember then I got my first hypo as well, and I was just like, it was proper shaking. It was after the dance class, and it was just, I'll always remember that, because it was just the most vile feeling I've ever felt in my entire life. Like that first hypo, it was just the doctors again, and she gave me an appointment for an endocrinologist, who then said, right, it's best for you to go on an insulin pump. So I was like, what the fuck's an insulin pump now? And it was just kind of like spiraled from one thing to another. But when I had the meeting with her, she sat down and she said, this is like the best way to manage your hypos, because obviously at this point I'd only experienced one hypo because my blood sugar was still sky high and it didn't really want to come down. So that's what they did. They said, right, there's going to be this course, an introduction to the pump. We want you to go on it. You can always come off it if you don't like it, but we think it's the best thing for you. So I was put on the pump quite quickly, and I feel so fortunate to have done that, because I don't think I would have been able to handle it half as well with pens. That's just the way it is. The freedom it gives you is really good. So yeah, that's my little story. It's you know, it's something that I can live with. So I'm kind of grateful that it is type 1 diabetes and not that, you know, can't be managed. It does take a lot of time and a lot of effort to be able to get it right. So, you know, I haven't had a HbA1c since diagnosis that's out of the non-diabetic range. So I think I'm doing a pretty good job, and obviously there are days where I feel like I'm doing a really crap job, but, you know, you can't really be perfect with it all the time, because you are essentially acting like, you know, a major organ in your body. So it's important to remember that, you know, it's not an easy job, and we're doing a good job to be able to stay alive, really, because it's under our management. Not really, it doesn't just happen naturally like it does for everyone else, kind of thing. So anyway, hope this has been valuable for you, and that you've got more insight into my diagnosis story now. So I'll speak to you soon. Bye.